Welcome to The Shoreline, brought to you by Shores and Islands, Ohio, where finding your Lake Erie love is a sure thing. Thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Jill Bauer, PR Manager for Shores and Islands, Ohio. We bring you The Shoreline every week to give you the inside scoop on what's happening here in our island and coastal communities. Well, guys, we've made it to June, and it finally feels like summer here. The June episodes of The Shoreline are brought to you by our new friends at Sandusky Pedal Company, whom we will be chatting with shortly. Ready to ride, laugh, and sip your way through downtown Sandusky? Hop on the Sandusky Pedal Company's 14-person party bike. Cruise the lakeshore, enjoy your favorite drinks, and make memories with friends and family. Book your ride today at sanduskypedal.com. While so much is happening in Shores and Islands, Ohio this summer, the energy is palpable. From new business openings to perennial favorites, I feel like there's really something for everyone to love in our region. Whether you're into thrills or just into chilling out, we've got you covered. If you haven't already ordered your Shores and Islands Play and Stay Guide, get yourself over to our website and order one to be mailed to you, or you can download it onto your device for easy access to planning your summer getaway. Here are some of the major events that are on tap for June. The Huron Lakefront Market is coming up this weekend. Additionally, Ohio Bike Week is bringing their Sandusky Block Party to downtown Sandusky this weekend. Put-in-Bay will be hosting their annual Pride event next Monday, June 9th. Vermilion's Festival of the Fish runs June 13th through 15th. And the annual Toast of Ohio Wine Festival returns to Sandusky's Jackson Street Pier on the 14th. Rounding out the month is the always popular and family-friendly Pirate Fest at Put-in-Bay, which is running June 27th through 29th. These are just a very small sample of all of the amazing things going on throughout the region. If you want to know more about what's happening in Shores and Islands, Ohio, check out the events tab at shoresandislands.com. Our guest today is a part of the fantastic momentum that continues to thrive in downtown Sandusky. Joining us today are Derrick and Brittany Arbogast, proprietors of the new Sandusky Pedal Company. Derrick and Brittany met in 2009 at Heidelberg University, go Student Princes, where Derrick played college football. I went to Baldwin Wallace, so we're technically rivals. They dated throughout college and married shortly after graduation in 2012, and now they have 4 wonderful children together. After moving to the Republic and Bellevue area in 2023, they found themselves in Sandusky often for date nights and family outings, and they quickly fell in love with everything the city has to offer. Derrick and Brittany have been longtime friends with Dan Perry, who is the founder of Tiffin Pedal Company. Tiffin Pedal Company was the first of now 5 pedal companies in Northwest Ohio, which have thrived under Dan's leadership and the ownership group Your Town Pedal Company. Inspired by the success and positive impact Dan brought to the Tiffin area with Tiffin Pedal Company, Derrick and Brittany are excited to contribute the same energy and fun to the incredible Sandusky community. And I, for one, cannot wait. Welcome to the program, Brittany and Derrick.
Thanks for having us.
Awesome. I'm so glad that you guys are both here. Let's talk a bit about your origin story, which was mentioned in your bio. How did the idea for this bike tour business come about, and why did you choose Sandusky?
Yeah, it's a great question. So basically, I had been looking around at different kinds of businesses we could get going for our family outside of my day job. Just something to do, something to teach our kids. We homeschool our kids, so trying to teach them a little bit about business and entrepreneurship was important to us. Dan and I were good buddies, and we ended up talking at a football game last year, our homecoming football game, where we both played at Tiffin Calvert. And he was joking with me about starting a pedal bike in a real small town. I just took it as a joke. Then a couple months later, we ended up going on a men's retreat with my brothers and a couple of our other friends from high school. I had time to think about it, and I was just thinking to myself, I wonder if he was serious about that or not, or actually starting new pedal bikes in new towns. So when we were on the men's retreat, we were just talking, and I brought up the idea that I think it'd be really fun. I watch him do it. We've done the Tiffin pedal bike multiple times and always had a blast. So I thought it'd be a cool way to get in and have something fun to do on the side and teach my family, and something my wife and I, Brittany, can do together. So when we were kicking around different cities, I talked to him about how much we love coming up to Sandusky and how the downtown would be absolutely perfect for one of these. And we kind of started rolling with it. And I met with all of his brothers, and they were totally on board as well. So we came up a few times in the pouring rain, actually, in February and January, trying to find somewhere to keep the bike because we needed to find somewhere to store it.
I'm glad that you had the vision in February to see the potential of what could be.
Yes. Yep. Every time we came up, the weather was absolutely terrible, which was like, well, maybe this is not a good idea. I don't know. But basically, after we found the space, we started moving forward with things. And I think in January, we had decided full on that we were going to go for it. And by the beginning of May, middle of May, we had the bike full on ready to go. And we were testing it out. We got it up here to Sandusky just a couple weeks ago. We've had it on the roads a few times. We've had it out for a couple rides. But yeah, that's kind of how we got started. We just were looking for something to do for fun on the side, to show our kids, family, that there's other ways in life than just, working for somebody for forever. So
I love it. And, to be honest, seeing the popularity of these types of bikes, I've seen them in big cities from Cleveland to Columbus to Nashville, places like that. And for it to be very popular in a town like Tiffin, I'm surprised it hasn't already come to Sandusky. So I really think you guys are on the cusp of something very, very exciting and hopefully popular. As a downtown worker and somebody who spends a lot of time here myself, I'm very excited to try out your new bike. Can you walk us through what the typical experience is going to be like for somebody taking one of your tours?
Yeah, absolutely. So the bike can hold anywhere from 8 to 14 people, roughly speaking. I mean, you could get on here with 6, 7 people and it would be totally fine. It just wouldn't be as big of a party. But basically there are 10 seats that pedal, and then there are 2 benches in the back that are good for anybody who's unable to pedal, or if you've got small children, if you're doing a family ride. When we were testing this thing, I think we had 16 kids on the bike, and the oldest one I think was 9 years old. So, you can get a bunch of little people on here dancing in the middle, and, so there's plenty of space on here to bring as a group of 8 to 14 is what we suggest. But basically the bike has LED lights on it. It's got speaker system. It's got microphones you can sing into. There's a middle section in between the 2 bars where you can have a couple people in the middle, MCing and dancing and, whatever your group wants to do. It could be just somebody passing out drinks. But, we're going to do bar crawls. We can do sightseeing rides. We'll do some private events. Really, the experience can be whatever you want it to be. If you're bringing a group on the bike, you can bring your own drinks, which is kind of cool. You can bring up to 3 drinks per 21-year-old adult. If you're bringing alcoholic drinks, you can bring up to 3 per person.
Okay.
And then, as you drink through those, or as we're driving around town with stopping at local bars and restaurants, with Dora being here in town, it's amazing because you can just walk right in. You can get a Dora cup. You can get a refill from the bar. Maybe drink one before you go, get a refill to go to take back onto the bike.
Yeah, that's a great collaboration in supporting local businesses. And so you mentioned 3 drinks, alcoholic drinks. What about non-alcoholic drinks or snacks, things like that? Are you allowed to bring those on board?
Yep, absolutely. You can bring snacks. You can bring in as many non-alcoholic drinks as you want. We just have to limit the amount of alcohol for a couple reasons. I mean, legally, that's the rules. But also, we don't want you to just bring all your alcohol. We want to support the local bars and get an experience going in, buying a drink, talking to the bartenders, having a good time around downtown, not just driving around the whole time.
So you aren't only offering, bar crawl tours. You plan to offer different types of tours. What other ideas did you guys have in mind for touring the region?
You can make the ride whatever you want it to be. We've kicked around doing coffee tours. If we did some morning rides, even evening rides. I know Brittany is addicted to coffee, so she'll drink coffee at 10 p.m. But yeah, any kind of ride that you want, we can make it work. We can do wine tastings, beer tastings, just driving around. If you wanted to do ice cream stops, if you wanted to stop at all the ice cream places around, get samples. If you had kids you wanted to bring on, you could drive around to the different parks, take 20 minutes off the bike, play at the park, hop back on, go for another ride to the next one. Endless possibilities, yeah.
So how do you rent the bike? Is it by the hour? Is it by the day? How would you set up a tour like that?
If you go to our website, sanduskypedal.com, you'll see all the booking time slots that are available. Right now, we're sticking to 2-hour slots, and you rent the whole bike for your group. So when you split that amongst 14 people, the cost really is only like $20 to $25.
Oh, awesome.
It's not crazy expensive if you get a nice big group around. But yeah, right now we're sticking to renting the whole bike. We do have a 1 hour slot that we're going to be doing like on during the work week after work, like 3:30 to 4:30 for a little happy hour ride. But most of the time we'll be sticking to 2 hour rides.
That's awesome. And so you even mentioned, when you tested it, you had lots of little kids on board. I could see it being a birthday party. Put the kids on the bike and stop for ice cream and cake at different places. Could be fun.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Do I have to be in shape to be able to pedal the bike? How does that work?
If we turn the motor off and you're not in shape, you might have a little tough time pedaling, but there is an electric assist motor that makes pedaling a breeze. Basically what you're doing is you're charging the engine by pedaling. So you can pedal as much or as little as you need to. And then also we have the bench seats in the back if you really can't pedal, or if you're handicapped, whatever the reason may be. We do have 4 seats in the back that you can just sit on the bench and enjoy yourself without having to worry about pedaling at all.
And that would work really well for like an extended family situation, right? So maybe the little kids aren't pedaling as hard and grandma and grandpa don't want to pedal at all. So you can really find a seat for everyone on there.
Yes, correct.
So it seems like you guys have really created something fun for both locals and visitors. What has the reception been like so far for you guys?
It's honestly, we've been like overwhelmingly supported by everybody that we've come across so far. I think that's been the coolest part, is just how receptive and open the community has been to us and for us. Everyone's willing to help. Everyone's willing to point us in the right direction. And it's just been so awesome to see the support and like how Sandusky comes together as a community to support businesses and to support especially new faces, that maybe we don't exactly know where to go with things, but someone's always willing to show us or point us in the direction to take it. So that's been really awesome.
That's really wonderful to hear. And it actually leads really well into my next question, which is, in what ways do you guys plan to engage with the local community? Do you plan to participate in events, or, how are you going to, kind of get locals on board?
Derrick mentioned earlier that people can bring their own alcohol, but we're really going to encourage people to stop and get the door drinks at different bars and restaurants to bring back onto the bike, so that we're supporting local and bringing back to the community that way. We want to get involved with different events in the community. We're hoping to roll out some tours this summer to align with some of the really cool community events that Sandusky has going on this summer. We're hoping to get not only the local crowd, but some of the tourist crowd in as well, and draw them to the downtown area too.
Another thing that we are looking at doing that the other locations do is they do what's called Santa Stops, where we basically reach out to any of the local community during Christmas time, and we will drive, as long as we can get there, we will drive the bike to their house with Santa on board, and Santa, the little kids we'll be playing Christmas music and Christmas carols, and the kids can come up, sit on Santa's lap, and do like a meet the Santa thing.
I love it.
Yeah, and what we'll do with that is any of the proceeds that we get from that, we will donate to some sort of, I don't know if there's a Toys for Tot or whatever, something to give toys to the local community for people who have trouble getting Christmas gifts. We'll continue that tradition up here in Sandusky as well.
I love that idea. And speaking of, being available at Christmas time, what do you anticipate your regular season to be?
We're going to keep our bookings open year round. We fully expect to be less busy during the winter months, but if you've got family in town around Thanksgiving, as long as we can find a driver, we will have the availability for you to rent the bike. Yeah, I mean, we probably can't make it through, 2 feet of snow, but as long as weather permits and we can find a driver, there's no reason we can't go year round.
Wow, that's fantastic. I guess I didn't really think about that. Is there a calamity clause or anything like that? If you get stuck in the rain, or if it does happen to start snowing, do you have kind of a backup plan for something like that?
We've kicked that around a little bit. What's worked well in the other towns is basically you can refund or reschedule if the weather gets too bad that you can't do the ride.
Gotcha.
Weather's something that's out of our control, so we're not going to punish the customer for something that's out of their control.
Yeah, I was just thinking, Thanksgiving, that sounds great, right? Because everybody needs to work off that turkey. But like, what if we schedule the tour with you and then we get 2 inches of snow on Thanksgiving morning,
Right.
So then we just reschedule for Christmas.
Speaking of Christmas, we're really hoping to do the Sandusky Christmas market. We would love to do like some Christmas caroling rides, or, decorate the bike for Christmas and have it out and about. at Christmas.
Were you in the area last year when we had the downtown Christmas market?
We were. It was beautiful. You guys did such a great job with that.
It was such a lovely experience, and I'm glad that it's, planned to come back for years to come. I think people really enjoyed that, and I think that you guys could be a really nice addition to that. That would be something fun to do while you're in town, visiting the Christmas market. And I could also see you guys being, a great addition to anything that's going on in downtown Sandusky, from, Ohio Bike Week to the Toast of Ohio Wine Festival that I mentioned, or any of the Party at the Pier events. If you guys are just out and about, I think people will see you and be intrigued.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you. We hope so. Yeah.
Now, do you guys have the ability to use the bike for like a parade or anything like that might be coming to town?
Yeah, we do have the ability for that. We're hoping to get connected with some of the downtown events like that. We're still learning like what is happening as far as that goes in the area, but we will, as much as our schedule can allow, we would love to be a part of the downtown things like that.
I'll tell you, a great resource is shoresandislands.com. You can check out our events tab. There's a great 4th of July celebration in downtown Sandusky, and things in the region that will go all the way through fall and winter as well. So you guys, it seems like you have kind of a varied target audience. Like, you have many different audiences, but do you have some ideas of maybe who this would be good for?
Yeah, definitely. So this is great for like bachelor or bachelorette parties.
Yeah.
You mentioned birthday parties earlier. That would be great for that. Work outings, I think that would probably be the best way that I could think of to do like a work meeting, or like team bonding.
Bonding, I love it.
So, or even just, downtown wedding party transportation. We would offer the bike up for people could use that to transport your wedding party if you're doing it downtown.
Think about all the different places in downtown where you can take photos. Like, that would be a great, option to go from, maybe different landmarks, different parks, different murals, different places that people can take photos, either for a wedding party or graduation photos or prom pics, things like that.
I didn't even think about a prom party, like a pre-prom party. That would be awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that would be so fun.
Get a bunch of kids on there, and stop at the park and get their picture in front of the fountain, and then ride for a little bit, and then stop down by the pier and get your picture by the water. I'm like, there's so many options.
It's just such a fun way to connect with people, because you're face to face riding around, listening to music, and just like spending quality time with your favorite people. That's a blast, I think.
It definitely sounds like you guys have a lot of great ideas. So I know you've just debuted. You've only been open for a very short time. But what's next for Sandusky Pedal Company? Do you guys have like a long-term vision or ideas on how maybe the business will evolve within Sandusky?
Our goal, at least this season, is to just collaborate with local businesses and jump in on events when we can. And then we're hoping, that people think of us as a group activity staple for locals and tourists alike. We're hoping to be kind of a go-to for things to do with the group.
Definitely. It sounds like you're definitely in the right direction there. I mean, I really think that you guys have a great thing going, and I agree. I hope that it will become just kind of a group activity staple for the region. And like I said, I'm honestly surprised it hasn't. We don't already have something like that. So it's such a great thing. And thank you for choosing Sandusky. I hope that it works out well for you. One more time, where can people go to learn more, to follow you on social media, or to book a tour?
So Brittany is our social media person, and she has done an awesome job. You can follow us on Facebook. It's just Sandusky Pedal Company. And Instagram, I believe, is just Sandusky Pedal Co., not company. If you want to book or anything like that, or just get more information about us or the ownership group, the Yorktown Pedal Company, you can go to our website. It's just sanduskypedal.com.
And do all the tours begin and end at Sora and Oak?
As of right now, that's what we are planning on doing. Yes. It just might be a little tight driving around to pick people up. So for now, that's the plan. Yes. And we are behind Sora and Oak. We've got a garage door that's got our name, and the logo's almost up. We almost have the logo up, but yep.
Look for Chris Farley. Chris Farley's written on our door.
So near the Tommy Boy-esque mural.
Yes.
That's perfect. And Sora and Oak is a great location for you as well. You could, maybe grab a bite to eat before or after your tour.
They're hoping that their liquor license is ready to roll here in the next couple weeks. So, if you could stop in, you can grab a 6-pack from there before we go, or grab a Dora cup from there before we go. That'll be perfect once that's up and running too. So yeah, we're both getting started here, but yeah, I think it's going to be a great partnership.
I do too. I think that's going to be great for you guys. So thank you for joining us today on the Shoreline. And once again, congratulations on your opening, and I wish you much success.
Thank you so much, Jill. We're so excited to get started.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Special thanks to Derrick and Brittany Arbogast from Sandusky Pedal Company for joining us today. And a reminder that all of June's episodes of The Shoreline are brought to you by the Sandusky Pedal Company. So extra special thanks to them again for their continued support. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this podcast, please be sure to like and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts so you don't miss a minute of the action here in Shores and Islands, Ohio. You can also find more information, including past episodes of the podcast, online at shoresandislands.com. And we will see you next time on The Shoreline.